In example 1, we're going to explore further the concept of mean, median, and mode by making use of the data set that's given to us here. So the first thing that you want to do anytime you're given a data set is you want to rearrange it in order from the smallest number to the biggest number. Okay, and so that's the first thing that I'm going to do. So I know that my smallest number here is 4. And then I'm going to look for any 5s or no 5s. There's a 6. So 4, 6, and no more 6s. There's a 7. There's an 8. There is a 9. There's a second 9. There is a 10. There's an 11. There's two 15s. And there's an 18. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do is order the number set in order from the lowest number to the biggest number. Okay, and then you want to verify that you have the correct number of points of data. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in my original set, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in my second one. So I have the correct number of data points. So the first thing I need to do is I need to figure out what is the mean. Okay, again, the mean is the total of the total value of all of the numbers in the data set divided by the number of numbers in the data set. So I'm going to quickly total up all of the numbers. So by totaling that up, I'm going to take 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 15 plus 15 plus 18. Okay, so that gives me 112. Okay. Now, I also know that there are 11 numbers in the data set. Okay, so I'm going to do 112 divided by 11, and that's going to give me my average. Okay, so my average number, I'm going to round it to 1 decimal place for simplicity's sake. My average number here happens to be 10 decimal 2. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to figure out, well, what's the median number? Okay, and we talked about how if there's an odd number of points of data in the data set, then it's right in the middle. And if there's an even number of data points in the data set, then it's the average of the middle two numbers. So in this case, there are 11. Okay, so that means that the middle number is going to be the 6th number. There'll be 5 on the left and 5 on the right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, my middle number is 9. Okay, I have 5 numbers on the left, and I have 5 numbers on the right. Okay, so 9 is the number that's right in the middle. Okay, and so that makes it the median. Okay, so we don't have to make it any more complicated than that. It is the median. It splits the data set into two halves, into a lower half and an upper half. Okay. The last thing that we'll take a look at here is the mode. So what number shows up most often? Well, if we look at our data set, we notice that we have every number is a single number, except for 9. There are 2 9s, and there are also 2 15s. So it's possible to have more than one mode. In this situation, there are 2 modes. There is 9 and 15. Those are the modes of this particular data set. Okay. So what we can do is we're actually going to make some changes here. Okay. So we're going to add in 3 numbers to our data set. And so we want to figure out, well, how is that going to change it? So I'm just going to shift this up a little bit, and then I'm going to rewrite out the data set, and now I'm going to input the 3 new numbers, the 11, the 6, and the 15. Okay, so I'm going to write this out. I've got 4, then the original 6, my new 6, then 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, the original 11, the new 11, the two original 15s and the new 15, and then the 18 at the end. Okay? So now I want to do the same thing. I want to figure out my mean, median, and mode given this new data set, and then compare it to the old one. Okay, so we'll do mean, median, and lastly, mode. Okay, so my mean, again, what I need to do is I need to add up all of the numbers to see what they total. So I got 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 11 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 18 for a grand total of 144. Okay. Now I have to figure out, well, how many numbers are actually in my data set and divide my total by that number of numbers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So now there are 14 numbers in my data set. So 144 divided by 14 is going to equal, and again, if I round this to the nearest decimal point, it'll give me 10.3. Okay? So my mean has actually jumped by 1/10 of a percentage point, or 1/10 of a decimal point. Okay, so it went from 10.2 to 10.3. So now we want to figure out, well, what's the median? Again, the median is always the middle number. Okay, and so in the original data set, we had an odd number. We had 11. Okay, so the median was the sixth number. It was right in the middle. There's 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Now we have an even number. Okay, the median now is going to be the average of the middle two numbers. So there's 14. So the median is going to be between 7 and 8. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it has to be somewhere between 9 and 10. Okay, so the median is going to be the number that's right in the middle. Okay, and so when we have the median, we need to figure out what that average of those two middle numbers is. So to figure out the average, I take the two middle numbers, which in this case are 9 and 10. I add them together, and then I divide them by 2. Okay, and that's going to give me 9.5. Okay, so 9.5 is actually my median. Okay, that means that there should be 7 numbers on the right-hand side of the median and 7 numbers on the left-hand side of the median. So if I look on the right-hand side of the median, I have, starting at the 10, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the left-hand side of the median, starting at the 9, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I have 7 here, and I have 7 here. Okay, so my median is going to be 9.5. And then finally, I want to figure out what my mode is going to be. And originally, we had 2 modes. We had 9 and we had 15. And now if I look, I have 2 6s, I have 2 9s, I have 2 11s, but I have 3 15s. And mode is always the number that shows up the most. So because there's 3 15s, 15 is now the new mode. Okay, so my measures of central tendency, my mean, median, and mode, all 3 of them have actually gone up a little bit. And so that's just a way that you can analyze part of a data set.